In this video, I'm going to be going over the 10 tips that will instantly make you better at Rainbow Six Siege. So to jump straight into the first tip, I'm going to be talking about sensitivity. So for sensitivity, you can either come into shooting range or you can just jump into custom games, hopping on your map. And what you want to do is you want to come and find 2 points on the map. What I do is go to these doorways, either one, and you want to find each point. You see this line here, you want to be in the middle of it here, stand back, and you just want to flick between these 2 frames here. And as you can see, if you're under flicking like this, so you go from here and you didn't quite hit it, that means you've got to turn your sensitivity up. If you're going from here and turn it all the way over to here, you're going way over, then you need to turn your sensitivity down. And the way you do this is, if you go into your settings, you don't want to be changing your horizontal and vertical. You want to keep these fairly similar. So that's what I have mine at. But what you want to do is you want to come down to ADS sensitivity and you want to change it here. You got your scope, your 2.5. Let's just show an example. If I bump it way up to say 90 odd, and then I go in here and I'm gonna go way over. As you can see, I cannot land that, it's too fast for me. Or if we do it the other way, where I bump it all the way back down to let's say 15, and then I'm just too slow, I'm under turning here, and that is not what you want. So you want to find a nice even middle ground. The best way to do it is just trial and error, honestly. You want to keep going back and forth between these, and you want to find the sensitivity that suits you best. So what I'd say is try and land on the frames at least 4 times in a row. So if you land, you go from the left all the way to the right, and then back to the left, and back to the right, and back to the left, and back to the right, and so on. If you can land that a couple of times, then you're sweet to go. Now the second one is your main sensitivity here. So you've got your vertical and your horizontal. So the way I do this is, if I stand here, I want to do a 180 and be able to land straight on the doorway. As you can see, mine's a bit too fast because I'm not able to turn around fast enough. So the best way to do this, say if you're in a game and you need to quickly flick and turn onto someone. So just do a couple of turns, see if you're landing, and then for your vertical, what I do is I come here and I'll try and land, aim for that ceiling, and then aim back to the bottom of here. And that's the best way to find your main sensitivity. That's not through your ADS, you just want to go straight on your main sensitivity. So if you're able to flick up and down like this, between the 2, nice and easy. You can turn on these doorways nice and easy, like this. And then you can flick on these beams here, while you have to do this while you're ADSing. But yeah, when you're flicking between the 2 frames here, don't just do it with the ACOG, you know, use the hollow sight as well. Use all the sights and make sure you get all your settings correct. So my second tip for you is holding angles and when to peek angles. So let's start off with this doorway. Let's say you have an enemy down there. If you're stood up the door like this, really close trying to peek it, he's going to see you before you can actually see him. Because if I'm stood here, he's going to be able to see my arms, my legs, my whole body, and all I can see is a brick wall. Whereas if I come back, you'll notice you'll start to see more of the doorway as I come back. So the further you are back, the better, really. So yeah, once you pull yourself back and you come into peek, you'll notice you'll get way more kills by doing this. If you're just up close like this, you're going to get popped off straight away. So make sure to pull back on any doorways. Or for instance, say if you come down into the basement, you'll get a lot of people that will peek up close like this. What you want to do, just take a step back. It's very simple. Take a step back, you want to check your doorways, you want to check if they've got a mirror, check back your doorways, check your mirrors, and you just want to push in, and you don't want to be up close, and that will help you out a huge amount. The second thing is, if you are a defender, please stop over peeking. You don't need to peek if you're a defender. You have a time limit, so stick by it. Let the attackers do the work, let them peek, and what you want to do as a defender is you just want to hold tight angles like this, and you just want to catch them off guard. Attackers, they'll over peek like this. They'll be trying to push, trying to see where you are. You know, they're coming to you, you're not coming to them. So just stand your ground as a defender and let them take the risk. So just get nice tight angles like this where you can just see a sliver of the doorway. And as soon as you see it change colour or you see an opponent there, you just want to pull out and land some shots. It's very simple. People will often just sit in a corner like this and just wait and wait and wait. If you don't know, there's a thing called Peeker's Advantage, and it is It is real. It is basically the latency between the game. As someone pulls out, you're going to see a lot faster than what they're going to see, if that makes sense. So their game is going to be slightly behind. Everybody's game is slightly behind than yours. So as you peek out, you're going to have like milliseconds, and that's just down to Wi-Fi, ping, whatever it may be. As soon as you peek out, you're going to see them before they actually see you. And it works both ways. But if you're pushing someone and you think they might be sat in this corner, you want to swing this corner. You don't want to just sit here and wait, because if they swing you like this and you're there, they're going to get you, because they're going to get that peeker's advantage. So it is basically swing or be swung in most of the scenarios. There are times where you're just better off just waiting. Say if you're back here and you're there, you're best just holding here. There's no point swinging out like this and trying to get a kill. So the third tip I'm going to talk about is crosshair placement. And I see this all the time when I'm spectating people. I see people walking around like this, looking at the floor. Like, what are you looking for if you're looking down here? You want to be at head level. Where the door is, you want to be head level like this. This is the sort of placement you want to be. Pull up. It's very simple. Go from here to here. You don't want to be looking down. I see it all the time, people like this. And the second thing is with crosshair placement is please start aiming when you go around the place. You need to start aiming more often. If you're going around a corner like this willy-nilly, just hip firing, you're not going to get kills. Whereas if you're going around a corner like this and you're already prepared to aim, then you are most likely going to get that kill, right? Because it takes, like, how long does this take? Probably like 2 seconds to aim in. So you've got, as you come around this corner hip firing and you've got to aim in, you've got a 2-second disadvantage over that player that stood there. Whereas if you're already prepared, you've got milliseconds to react, right? It's very simple, but a lot of people just forget about where their crosshair placement is. So lift your crosshairs up and aim in way more often wherever you go. Just be prepared. That's it, just be prepared. It's very simple. With movement, you want to understand where the opponents are most likely going to come from, and you want to position yourself in the best position you can. So let's say they're going to come from this front door again. You don't want to be holding an angle like this, right? You're going to die straight away as soon as they open that. You want to be maybe somewhere back here. I guess they can shoot you through this wall. It's not great. Or you want to be back here, right? And you want to be able to pick them off. You need to understand the map when it comes to movement. You want to know exactly where you are and where your teammates are. So if you're sat holding armory, you want to be able to maneuver and know exactly where you need to aim. So when you're moving, you want to move quickly. You don't want to be slow like this. I see a lot of people just slowly go around a corner. You can get picked off. You want to be quick. This is quite a big tip, to be honest. And a lot of people don't actually know this when they should. And that is punch holes in barricades, right? When you're entering a building or a room, whatever it may be. Many people just hit it 3 times like that, and you can hear how loud it is. Whereas, a way better and way quicker way, one of the ways that I will show you now, you want to look at the barricade, aim up 1, 2, 3. You want to aim just off to the middle, punch it, and you want to go 1, 2, and punch it. And you can just crouch walk straight through the door, and it is a way quieter way of entering. And for the third way, and you have to be Maverick to play this, and this is honestly an insane tip of how good this is. You want to do the same sort of thing. You want to aim towards the middle, so 1, 2, 3. Just tap it, and you go 1, 2, and tap it. And you can just walk straight through, and it is absolutely silent. I'm going to show a comparison on the screen now of somebody doing it, of each 3. And as you can see, it is a huge difference from knifing the barricade twice or using the Maverick, which is the way better option. But obviously you can't just pick Maverick every time. Now then, the 5th tip I have for you, and it is with Valkyrie. I see so many players play Valkyrie completely wrong. So the first thing you want to do, again, it's just down to game knowledge. You need to understand the map and where the opponents are going to come from. For instance, let's say we're here on dorms. You're going to have lots of people come from this window, this door, and through the attic here, through this wall. So you want to be able to find camera spots that are going to cover, say, the attic, the doorway, this doorway, and the window. They're the main places that you want to cover. That's basically the basic of Valkyrie. Just put your cameras where it's a high traffic point. Secondly, I want to show you a trick called bouncing cameras. I've done a way better video on this. If you want to watch my Valkyrie camera video, then I would suggest go watching that. So I'll show you how to do a bounce trick, and this is one of the spots I have shown off in one of my videos. You basically want to throw your one camera up there like that, and then you want to bounce it off that camera, and it just lands perfectly on top of things, and it makes it very hard to see. And as you can see, nobody is going to find cameras like this. Like, they are so hard to find. There's so many different spots. Like, it is crazy. But that's one trick that people need to start learning with Valkyrie cameras, is you can just bounce them wherever you like. Say on top of this cupboard, for instance, you can just chuck it up and bounce it straight off like that. And now you've got a camera on top of the cupboard. It makes it so much easier to find a camera. And obviously you can find your own spots. There's so many on every single different map. Now, the 6th tip, shoot the glass off the windows like that. That's it. Just shoot a couple of times, break the glass. And what this will do is you'll be able to hear the opponents repelling. And this does make a huge difference. I will show a little clip on the screen now of the difference between having a window broken and a window not. But yeah, as you can see, if you don't break the glass, it is literally silent and it's very hard to hear the repel. Whereas if you shoot the glass, it makes it so much easier to hear where your opponents are coming from. So for the 7th tip I got for you is game sense. And there's 2 ways to improve on this. The first one is you've literally just got to play a ton of Siege. And I know it is annoying and it's long and it takes ages. I get it. But honestly, it is just down to how much you play the game. You got to play loads and you'll slowly start to understand the maps, how people play, understand where opponents are going to come from, where people are going to be hiding. You'll be able to learn where to position yourself, and it's honestly just down to trial and error. Every time you die, learn how you died and how you could have done better. The second way to improve your game sense is honestly just to watch people that are better than you. Like, go on YouTube, watch Pro League, whatever you like, just watch people that are way better than you, and you'll pick up so many different things. You'll learn new angles to hold, new positioning, new ways to defend a certain site. There's so many different things you can learn just by watching people that are better than you. The 8th tip I have for you is this right here. Please, can we stop sprinting around the place like a damn headless chicken? We don't need to do it. There's no need to be doing this, right? Just take your time. Crouch walk, whatever you got to do. There's no need to be sprinting around the place. The only time I want to see people sprinting is at the start of the round, after you've checked that there's nobody going for a spawn peak or a run out, okay? That's the only time I want to see people sprinting. It is way too loud, and let me just show you how long it takes to get my gun out. You ready? Sprint. If you see someone, you got to stop, and then you got to get your gun out. Whereas if you're crouching and you're already ready for the person to come through that door, it is so much quicker. And the other time I want to see you sprinting is if there's hardly any time left and you're attacking. The next one I have for you is this little bad boy here, the drone. We need to start using our drones way more often. A lot of people are not using their drones enough. It is so important to use your drones, and a lot of people just skip it. And I understand people can't be bothered. If you're playing an unranked, don't bother droning, it's fine. Just run in, do what you want, have fun. When it comes to ranked, you need to start droning. And another thing is you need to start droning effectively. So, what you want to do when it comes to droning, say if you want to push up these stairs here and you want to drone out and make sure there's nobody up the stairs. So you drone up, and a lot of people just jump past like that, skip past, oh yeah, it's clear, it's whatever. Like, no, that is not the right way to do it. If you're coming up these stairs, you want to be checking in here, quick check, you want to drone out, and you do not want to be just droning like this and just checking like that. You want to turn and you want to check all the corners if you're coming in this room. Because there could be someone sat right there, and if you just drone in like this and you just look like that, you're not going to see them. It takes literally no time whatsoever to just, as you're droning, just turn around and go backwards, and then you're back in, right? And you want to check all your corners. So if you're coming in here, instead of just going like that, you just want to double check like that, check your corners, go back. And it's just very simple. Just keep turning your drone and scanning the whole room rather than just blitzing through like this and not bothering. Now, my final tip for you. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree and be like, I can't be bothered to do that. But trust me, it's going to help. It's to warm up. We need to start warming up, especially if we're going into ranked. And I get it, people don't have time, they just rush straight into it. And I completely understand, right? But we need to start warming up before we actually hop into a ranked. Whether that's going into TDM, free-for-all, the shooting range, whatever you like, whatever you want to do. Just by warming up, you'll be able to just practice your aim just for a couple of minutes, whether it's just in the shooting range or just playing a quick TDM or a quick free-for-all. And it does make a huge difference to how you play in that game. So those are the 10 tips in Rainbow Six Siege. If this video has helped you in any sort of way, I'd appreciate any sort of like, comment or subscribe. But other than that, I hope you have enjoyed and I'll catch you in the next video.